everybody, it's Jenny, and today I have the NYX Cosmetics Sugar Trip Squad Eyeshadow Palette and Highlight Palette to show to you guys today. This is the Sugar Trip Squad eyeshadow, and this is the highlight. These are $22 each. There are more palettes and products in the holiday collection, but I only picked up these two because I wanted to see what the quality was like, and they were the products I was most interested in. You can actually find these on the Forever 21 website, the Kohl's website, and the NYX Cosmetics website. I picked up mine at Kohl's because they were having a buy one, get one 50% off sale, and I had $5 in Yes rewards. Hence, I also only got two products so that one of the palettes would only be $11. This is what the eyeshadow palette looks like inside. There are only 3 shimmer eyeshadows in this one, and the rest of them are mattes. Normally I go for more shimmers than this. However, I do have a lot of single shimmer shadows that I can use with this palette. In the case of today's eye look, I can also combine it with the highlight palette if I need a little bit more depth to the look. This is the highlight palette. If we were to open her up, we can see that there's a lot of darker shades in here, which is really nice considering it's a highlight palette and you need a little bit of diversity in these palettes. However, I'll probably be sticking only to the last 2 shades since I am so fair. I'll probably test out the darker shades on some of my friends who are a little bit deeper complexion than me. I'm also going to try using some of the deeper shades on the eyes if necessary with the eyeshadow palette. With that said, let's scooch you in a little bit closer so we can get started with the look and first impression of these products. So for this eye look, I'm gonna go into this shade right over here and put that all over my crease. So far so good. I like the red shade. So far that seems to blend out pretty well, but I'm going to try and soften up the crease a little bit more by going in with this shade right over here. For those wondering, I'm just gradually depositing color into the outer portion of the crease. I'm not going in very hard. Now I'm really going to go in and clean up any additional harsh lines with a clean blending brush. I'm going to deepen up the crease with that wine shade right over here. Since there are not too many shimmer shades in this particular palette, I'm going to go in with that gold shade on the outer V. That shade applies nicely dry. I'm just going to build it up a little bit more. Now, not because I think it's going to look good, but because I love lime green so much, I'm going in with this shade right over here. That gold shade performs so nicely, but I'm very disappointed with the way that this lime green shade performs. Adding a bit of Fix Plus to that shade. Alright, that's definitely a little bit better. I'm going to finish the rest of my makeup, then come back to do the lower lash line, and then we can test out that highlight palette, and I'll show you some brush swatches of the eyeshadow palette. For the lower lash line, I'm going into that orange shade right over there, and then I'm going to add a little bit of pink to the inner portion and use the highlight palette for the inner corner. That orange is insanely pigmented. I'm going to use the lightest shade in this highlight palette for my inner corner and the inner portion of my lower lash line. It's a really pretty little highlight shade. I'm going in with this shade here as a blush, and I'm going to top it off with this highlight shade that I've already fallen in love with. I've certainly seen more intense blush topper shades, but if you build it up, it does work as a blush. I did bring another brush here with me to apply just in case it was an utter fail, so I'm gonna go ahead and use that. I don't think it's showing up on camera, but in person it has a really pretty purple shift. And I really like this highlight. I think I'm going to use it quite often. With that, let's get on to some brush swatches and I'll give you my final thoughts. The first shade is that lime green shade that I wasn't that keen on. You definitely need to use some setting spray with this shade. Next to that is the matte blue shade. Then we have the orange eyeshadow shade. This is the beige shade. It's ever so slightly darker than my skin tone. Next to that, I have the salmon eyeshadow shade. This one is the lilac purple shade. Here we have that pink shimmer shade. Just like the lime green, you're gonna definitely need some setting spray with this one. Here I have that dark brown eyeshadow. Here I have that red wine shade. That shade makes me want a glass of Cabernet Sauvignon right now. Here's that gold shade. Then I really like this red shade a lot. The last shade in the palette is that blue purple shade. There you have it, all the shades in the Sugar Trip Squad eyeshadow palette. In closing, I like both of these palettes. I will admit that I don't think I'm going to get too much use out of this highlight palette. There's only 2 shades in there that I can use on my face, and the other shades, I might be able to use them on my eyes and use them on friends' faces, but other than that, highly doubtful I'll ever hit pan. On the other hand, for the eyeshadow palette, the only shade that I wasn't too interested in is the lime green shade, only because of the fact that I have better lime greens in my collection. And the pink eyeshadow in here, NYX has a really good eyeshadow. It's a NYX Prismatic eyeshadow in Dollface, and that one's a lot better than the shade that's in this collection right here. However, the mattes on here are wonderful. I found that they were pigmented and they blended well. They perform great. So I probably will be using this as a companion palette to some of my shimmer shades, the single ones, and my all shimmer palettes to create more looks. I'm not yet sure if I'm going to be posting these looks here on YouTube, but I may post them on Instagram once I find a little bit more time to create more looks and take photos of those. If you're curious about purchasing this and whether or not it's worth the price, I will say it is better than some of the other NYX eyeshadow palettes that have come out lately where they're very expensive and the quality still isn't there. This one is definitely a step up, but if you can catch it on sale, like I was able to catch that buy one get one 50% off sale, then I would definitely recommend to wait until then. Not because the eyeshadows are that bad, it's just that I'm not 100% sure that I think that it's really valued at $22, if that makes any sense. I'm still not sure whether or not I'm going to be picking up anything else from this NYX holiday collection, but if you are interested in seeing me pick anything else up, please leave a comment down below and let me know what you would like to see me do a first impression of or a review of. If you have not yet subscribed, please do so and give this video a like. It really means a lot to me, especially hearing from you guys. And until next time, guys.